Hi everyone, I'm Needlecraft Annie and welcome to my next flosstube video. This is flosstube number 71. Today I'm super late because when I woke up normally on video days I either go to work directly in the morning and do my video right after, or I get up quite early or earlier than I normally would and then start filming. And today I did not have to work, so I got up. And I just got so distracted with everything. I started to read and yeah, I did everything instead of filming. But now I'm here. It's already after 4 p.m. so I'm hoping that the light will be okay up through till the end of the video. It should be, but I'm not sure. The days are getting longer, so I normally should have enough light, but we'll see about that. I really hope for enough light. But because it's already so late, I only have cross-stitching today, no knitting or crochet. I did not do a whole lot with both of that, so I decided to just keep it and show you next week. And this week it's only cross-stitching. I had a question about my Supersize Max Color cliffhanger that I'm stitching, and I'm stitching it page by page. So I had a question if I get page breaks or not. I will show that project in this video once again. So I'm going to show that together with the project, just because it's easier to show. So when you're just here for the question, it will be in the end in my planned section. So yeah, I'm going to answer that, but a little bit later in the video, just because it's easier to answer the question with the project around. Okay, that's everything I wanted to tell you before I start my video. Oh, one thing, because I'm sitting here in a t-shirt. The weather here at the moment is super strange. Last week or last Monday, so a week ago, we still had snow and it was super cold and I didn't want to go outside. Well, we now have between 15 and 17 degrees Celsius. So basically we had a temperature change in a week of 20 degrees Celsius. That's just super crazy. As I said, last week we had snow. This week I was out on my balcony in my bikini. So it's super crazy weather. But I'm really enjoying the sun. So I'm happy for that. And yeah, it can stay that way. It's supposed to be a little bit colder in March. But I'm hoping that's not true, because I really like the sun. I really like spring. So yeah, it can stay that way. Okay, that's everything I wanted to tell you. Let's get started with my stitching update. And as always, I'm starting with my travel stitching, which at the moment is the Twisted Band Sampler by Northern Expressions Needlework. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. And I show you a picture of what it looked like last time here. And I got a whole lot of progress. This is where I'm at right now. The needle is still hanging over here. I hope I won't lose it. But basically I finished the color in this band over here, and then started with the next color in my cross stitch band over here. And yeah, I'm close to finishing that one off as well. So yeah, a whole lot of progress. Super happy with that. This week I'm going to continue using this as my travel stitching, and this week should mean I finish my next band, which is super amazing. This is stitched on a 32 count white opalescent linen. The needleminder is from Caterpillar Cross Stitch, and I'm stitching this I'm stitching this with dinky dies. Yeah, that's not super easy to say. There's in the pattern there's a conversion for Aurora Soir, dinky dies, and DMC, and I decided for the dinky dies. Yeah, the cross stitches I'm stitching 1/2, and the specialty stitches also with 1 strand. Yeah, super happy with how this is coming along. I already did a whole lot this year. I think this year I started with bands 1 to 4 finished, and a little bit started on band number 5. And now it's only February, and I nearly finished 2 bands, or finished up one of the bands that were started, and then 2 more. That's pretty cool. So yeah, really happy with that. Going to continue using it as my travel stitching going forward, and hopefully next week finishing band number 7 and then moving into the next specialty stitches band, which is always fun. So looking forward to that as well. Okay, and then I think I told you every video, I have one project I use for the week, and every day of the week I stitch a little bit on that one. So this week it was, once again, Lilac Fairy by Vavaco. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. And I'll show you a picture of what it looked like last time here. On this one as well, I did a whole lot. Super happy with how it's turning out. This is stitched on 14 count Lilac Ada, 2/1 full crosses, except for the background, which is stitched 1/1. And the needle minder is from 1 to 3 stitch. So what did I do? I finished up all of her wing, stitched those stars down here, finished off her sleeve, finished up the upper part of her dress, and then moved further down, finished the butterfly. No, I didn't. There's 2 stitches missing, but closely finished up the butterfly and then moved into this flower part of her dress. And I backstitched everything on her wings. So basically, from here on to the top, everything is done. Also, I brought this backstitched frame, a bit further down. So yeah, really happy with that. And moving along. I want to finish her this year, so I'm really happy with every bit of progress I get. Next step will probably be to finish all those flowers around her dress, and then move into those blue parts of her dress, finish all the background beside her dress, and then I can start filling in the middle of her dress, because in the middle there's a whole lot of metallic threads, the DMC metallic, and it's on my thread card and it does not feel nice. So I'm not looking forward to stitching with that. So yeah, keeping that for the end. But yeah, here she is. She's super beautiful and I can't wait to get back to her because she looks amazing. And I can't wait to have her done. Which I have already made good progress since the beginning of the year, because I don't think I had anything stitched in her dress. Oh, and one thing I did stitch this week was completed her hand and backstitched it also. So yeah, really a whole lot of progress since the beginning of the year. I need to have a whole lot of progress when I finish her, or want to finish her this year, but yeah. Happy with that. Okay, then let's move on to challenges. I'm in the Enchanted Stitching Challenges group on Facebook, and I explain that one also every video, and if you're bored, just skip ahead of it. Every month there's a Disney movie, all the challenges correspond to, and every week there are 4 challenges. I'm going with the highest prompt, which means 250 stitches per challenge. So over all 4 challenges, I need 1,000 stitches. If I'm doing 10 stitch, I have to double it. So this week, I stitched on one project for 2 challenges. The first one was stitch on a piece that is working faster than you thought. I wanted to have it finished by the end of the year, and I'm really close to finishing it now. So that counts. And this next one was stitch on something that you can relate to pride or fighting. I'm really proud about that one because it was my first ever cross stitch project, and I taught myself how to cross stitch with this project, so I'm very proud about that. So the project I'm talking about is Lavender Garden. It's by Rico Designs. It's a tablecloth and you stitch around the middle basically. So I show you a picture of what it looked like last time here. And this is where I'm at, and I'm not done yet. I'm really close, but not yet done. Everything that's missing is in this part of the hoop. So I have to finish this motif, and this motif, and there's one motif I have not started up here, and next to this one over here. So I'm really close, and I'm sure I will be able to finish it this week. I'm going to speak about that. in plans later on once again. But yeah, I'm super close. I finished all of the border up here, and yeah, I finished that motif as well. But it's presently under my hoop, and I thought about putting the hoop off during the video to show you. But I hate putting the hoop on, so I just decided to leave it and I'll show you next time. So yeah, that's where I'm at, and that's all I did. So I finished those two motifs completely, and then I moved my hoop, finished the border, and now I'm color completing basically. And all the reds are finished. So next I will finish all the lilacs and then the greens and then the browns for the pots. Yeah, that's my plan with that one. And everything I still have to do. Not a whole lot. So my plan to finish it during February should work, and I would be really happy about that. I have decided I'm not going to send it to my grandma. I'm going to drive to my grandma. Therefore, I have a little bit more time to actually finish and wash it, iron it, and so on. I do not have to FFO it because it is already a tablecloth, so it's already FFO'd, which really plays into my cards nicely because I'm so bad at FFOing. I think I never really FFO'd anything except for this one over here, which I just put into a frame. So really plays into my cards. And yeah, looking forward to finishing it actually, because it was my first cross-stitch project. And in about a month, it will actually have its second birthday. And I want to have it finished before its second birthday. So that would be pretty nice. But yeah, I'm going to talk about that one in plans once again. So I'm going to stop now and put it away. But yeah, really happy with all the things I did. As I said, those motifs, all those started motifs over here. And the last bit of the border, there was not a whole lot missing. Probably should tell you the needleminder is from Denkai Designs. And it's not stated anywhere, but I would say those squares in between the tablecloth fabric is about a 14 count Aida, and I'm stitching with two strands of floss. So yeah, that's that one. Next week, when I finish this one, which I still hope, I'm planning to talk about a little bit more about this project. So I'm going probably keep it till the end of the video. It was my first cross-stitch project. I learned a lot stitching this project. Probably, or might show you the back. It's not perfect. And that's fine, because, I mean, it's going to my grandma, and I always want to be gifts to be perfect and stuff. And this one won't be. But I think it would be alright, because my grandma normally doesn't use tablecloth that often. So it will not be out that much. So I think it will be okay. And the front is fine. It's just the back that just does not look good. But I will show that in my next video and tell you a few things about the kit, how much floss I have left, stuff like that. Yeah. Okay, that's it. As I said, I'm going to tell you more about that next week, when it's hopefully finished. Or otherwise in 2 weeks. Now that I have the time. Okay, the next challenge was to stitch on something with ice. So I decided to stitch on the Chimney Sweep by Golden Kite. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. As it's a winter scene, I'm sure there's some ice in there anywhere. If it is on those houses or in the streets, somewhere there will be ice in a winter scene. So I stitched on that one, and I show a picture of what it looked like last time here. And this is the project I always show you, and you probably never see any difference. This one is stitched on a 25 count blue even weave. I'm stitching 2/110 stitch. Needleminder is from Denkai Designs. And I did 510 stitches. And mostly I did them over here because I have now finished the color number 5 in the first row of pages. And I think I finished it also in the first page of row number 2. But you probably won't see a whole lot of difference. But yeah, that's what it's looking like right now. So yeah, I think I have 2 or 3 more colors after the one I'm presently stitching on. 2 or 3 more colors up in the first row of 10x10 blocks. And then I will move into colors of the building. So then you will actually see some progress. but I probably won't get to that this year. But yeah, that's that one. You can see all those threads in the back. Over here, there's nothing stitched, that's a thread in the back. But they will get stitched over, so I'm not worrying about carrying threads. So yeah. Here it is. As I said, not going to see a whole lot. That's just the nature of stitching cross country with all the same colors. Because it's now the 5th color I stitched on, and all those colors were off-whites. So yeah, you can't see a whole lot, and I'm sorry about that. But that's just, yeah, it's the nature of the project and how I decided to stitch this one. So you'll see some more progress when I get into other colors, which will take a while. Okay, and my last challenge for the week was to stitch on something red. So I went with Royal Games number 2 by Mirabilia. This is what it's going to look like when it's done, and I had not yet done a whole lot, but I had finally now a working copy, so first step was actually to mark everything I had done, and then I could get started with stitching. So I show a picture of what it looked like last time here. And this is where I got to. Super happy with that, because I just chose this color and started over here and moved over completely down. I think there are 2 or 3 more rows down here, but I had my 250 stitches, so I was fine with that. And I stitched this part of her dress over here. So that's where I stitched on, and I got my 250 stitches. So yeah, this one is stitched on 32 count white opalescent linen, 2/2. Needleminder is from Denka Designs. And yeah, making progress. Normally with Mirabilias, I like to start in the middle and then work my way upwards to the face, to the top of the pattern, and then work top to bottom. As I needed red floss, I decided to just take this part because there was a big block of this color and I just could keep stitching. Instead of moving my weight upwards, where there were a lot of pinkish tones and skin tones. So yeah, this was the easier way, and I went with that, and next time I stitch on her, I can move upwards into her face. So yeah, here she is. Happy with that. And that were all my challenges, but only the challenges for the Enchanted Stitching Challenges group. Because in the Full Coverage Fanatics Facebook group, they had the challenge, I think it was called Big Strides Weekend. Stitch on your biggest full coverage piece. So I went with Supersize Max Color Once Upon a Fairy Tale. Artwork is by Amy Stewart and charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. I have another one, Supersize Max Color, also artwork by Amy Stewart. But this one, Once Upon a Fairy Tale, is actually 999 stitches bigger than the other one. So this was the one I chose, or got chosen for me. And the event ran from Friday to Sunday, and I wanted to do 200 stitches every day. So run about 600 stitches over the weekend. I show you a picture of what it looked like last time you saw it here. And this is where I got to. This is stitched on 40 count, 1/110 stitch, and the needleminder is from Lakeside Needlecraft. And I did my 600 stitches, I think a bit more, 630 or something. I started in this block up here that was not completely done, and then I moved down until I finished this block here, and I have started a little bit on this block down there. I did not stitch 200 stitches every day. I just did 600 stitches over the weekend. Because on Friday I don't know, what did I stitch on Friday? I think just with the daily piece of Lilac Fairy and maybe finishing a challenge. I'm not sure. I ran out of time, and on Friday I did 12 stitches. So on Saturday I had a whole lot of time, so I actually did a bit more than 400 on Saturday, and then on Sunday I actually did 200 stitches the way it was planned. But yeah, really happy with this one. It's coming together, and I really can't wait to move into the next diagonal. In the next diagonal, I will actually reach, where is it? There. so small, the helmet of this knight over here. So that's pretty cool. And I can't wait for all those things to appear slowly but surely. So yeah, really happy how this one is turning out. So much detail, so much confetti. So that's the reason why on Friday I only got 12 stitches, because I did stitch with, I think, 8 colors on Friday. But yeah, really happy with this one. Here we go. Yeah, I love to look at this one and all those details. So yeah, that's that one. And that's everything I stitched on. So not a whole lot of progress. Sorry, a whole lot of progress, yes, but not a whole lot of projects. At least that's what I thought when I prepared the video. I had weeks where I had stitched on a bit more projects, but I think it's fine. I got more progress on the projects I stitched on, so that's really fine. I'm all for progress. Okay, let's move into plans for next week. Again, I will have one project I will stitch on every day a little bit. This week it will be Raven Queen by Mirabilia. I started this one 1.5 years ago, and so far I have worked on it 5 days, something like that. So she needs attention. So this is what she's going to look like when she's done. And for her being 1.5 years old, my progress is pitiful. Like really pitiful. This is where I'm at. She stitched on a 32 count, I think, pearl gray linen 2/2. Needleminder is from Denka Designs. Last time I stitched on her, I finished the raven down here just because I think I needed something that makes noise, and my reason for stitching on this piece was the raven, so I stitched on the raven. But this time I will start at the top like I normally like to do it and work my way down. So that's Raven Queen. She will be so beautiful, and I can't wait to have her done. So she needs attention, definitely needs attention. So stitching on her every day a little bit should get me quite a bit of progress. And I really hope for that, because she needs some attention and progress. I want to finish her top half this year, which basically means I want to finish her down until I think here. So that's a whole lot of stitching, and I have to get going. So yeah, that's Raven Queen. Stitching on her every day a little bit for this week. And then again, I have my challenges for the Enchanted Stitching Challenges group. And the first one is stitch on something that you could use to help train to be stronger. That was a difficult one. But there's the saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Well, I'm stitching on Tiger Chilling Out by Dimensions. If you fight against a tiger, you probably will die. But if not, you will be stronger. I'm using that. I had no idea what to stitch on, so I decided to go with that and stitch on Tiger Chilling Out. I know it's kind of a stretch, but in Enchanted Stitching Challenge group, whenever you can explain it, it will count. I can explain it. It's kind of a strange explanation, but I can explain it. I'm going with Tiger. So I show you where this one is at. It's stitched on 18 count, 2/110 stitch. No, 18 count, 2/1 full cross. The needleminder is from Denka Designs, and this is where I'm at. So I'm going to continue in this column over here, stitch a little bit more down there. So yeah, hoping for good amount of progress there. 250 stitches could get me done with the column. I'm still thinking about starting to backstitch his ear, or if I'm going to wait for a few more columns to actually finish both ears at the same time or something like that. Not sure about that. I really want to start backstitching, because backstitching brings the pieces to life. But yeah, we will see. We will see. Okay, next challenge is stitch on either yellow, green, or black. I chose black, because with black I can stitch on, Supersize Max Color Cliffhanger. Artwork is by Amy Stewart, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. and I'm stitching this one page by page. And the page I'm presently on is page number 3, and all that's left on here is black. So 510 stitches will be pretty easy to finish on here. This is also stitched on 40 count, 1/110 stitch, and yeah, really looking forward to continuing on this page, filling it up a little bit more, and yeah, that's that one. I'm coming back in about 5 minutes to this one to explain about my page breaks. So I'm leaving it out here so I can then explain it. Just going through the rest of the challenges real quick, and then we'll come back to that. Okay, next one is stitch on a piece that you wanted to give up on but kept stitching. For that, I'm using the Lavender Garden because it's not really my style. I don't use tablecloth at all. So yeah, and also it's not my style of stitching. There are so many mistakes in there. So many things I would do differently if I would start it now than when I did 2 years ago as my first cross stitch project. But when I thought about giving it up, the idea sparked to give it to my grandma, so I just kept stitching, and yeah, I'm using it for that challenge. 250 stitches will not get it done, but it will get me a little bit of progress, so that's fine. So I'm going to stitch on that one. And then, for the next challenge, stitch on something that you can relate to your own country's flag. I'm in Germany, or I'm German, and my colors are black, red, and gold. And by the way, it's super complicated to say, or at least it's for me, to say the colors of your nation's flag in another language than your own. It's super strange. At least it felt super strange for me. But yeah, it's black, red, or gold. At first I thought about cliffhanger and doing another challenge on that one, but that's 1,000 stitches. I mean, it's only black and it will be super fast, but I'm not really feeling it. So then I thought about the twisted band sampler. In the DMC conversion, the colors I'm presently using, or the colors I already used and now using, are light gold. This is the medium gold, and the next one will be a dark gold. Well, I'm using Dinky dyes, and I think the color I'm presently using is called Cobar, and the next will be Iron Bark. So they don't really work, but I want them to work because I want to stitch on that one. So yeah, I'm not really sure how to go with that. What do you think? Do you think I should go with the twisted band sampler and just count it as gold? Or should I go with cliffhanger and do another 500 black stitches? Or, which just came to mind, should I go back to Royal Games and do another challenge with red? I really have no idea. Please comment if you have a project you would want to see next time again. Just comment below and tell me. I will probably do this challenge later in the week, just because I have no idea what to stitch on. I mean, travel stitching will only start at Wednesday, so I have 2 days of not using it. Today is nearly over, but nevertheless, tomorrow I will not stitch on this one. So yeah, I'm not sure if this will count. I would like it to count, but I'm not sure, because every time I do not need for the challenges this week, or when I'm doing the challenges at work, I can use for Lavender Garden and finish it this week. So I'm really tempted to use something I can work on at work, but I'm not sure if it will count. What do you think? Will it count? I'm not sure. Thinking about that. I have a few days to decide. Okay, those were all my challenges. As I said, Raven Queen for every day of the week. Then we have Lavender Garden, Cliffhanger, and Tiger Chilling Out for my challenges. And one other challenge I'm not yet sure of. And every time I have left after those challenges, we'll go on Lavender Garden to hopefully finish that one. Yeah, and then let's move to the question I had about page breaks. And I'm really realizing the sun is now hitting really hard, so hopefully you can actually see the page breaks, which normally you would not want, but maybe you can see it. If I explain it now with the light, it might actually help me to explain it. So, page breaks. Supersize, max color, cliffhanger, I'm stitching page by page. I have projects I'm stitching column by column, and with full cross, I definitely get column lines. This one is stitched with 10 stitch. So the page breaks aren't as visible as those column lines with full cross. They are visible. But, okay, this is the project. I have stitched page by page, and in here, I'm not sure if you can see it, but in here, there's a slight page break. They were stronger. Over here, I do not have any, or at least not as visible. Honestly, being 3 feet away from it, you don't see any page breaks. It's just, presently it's the light that's really helping that you can actually see some. But whenever I have finished a page and moving onto a page right next to it, in places where only one color is, for example over here, in here there's just black. So at the back, this fabric is too large. Okay, in the back, there's only one color. So it's not bulky at all. It's super flat, and stitching next to it will give me no page breaks or page lines. The problem is with the confetti heavier areas. For example, in here or in here. And also I'm, what's it called? I'm taking my thread wherever I need to. And if that means I'm taking it over the whole page, I will take it over the whole page. I did not do it up here in the first page, but everywhere else I did it. And if that meant I would stitch one stitch here, take the thread down here, take the thread over here, and then take it up here, and do those 4 stitches all over the page with one length of thread without stopping and starting, I did that. That's probably not the way you're supposed to do it, but I don't care. So, whenever I had finished a whole page and moving into the next one, I tried to anchor my threads on the page that I already stitched. And when I had a little bit done on the next page, I tried to anchor the threads in the page break on the back to fill it up so that I do not have, if this is the fabric, I have the stitched thing over here, and on the back of the page I have all the confetti and the threads starting and stopping and traveling and so on. So it gets kind of bulky at the back. So if I start the next page, and both pages have those bulky backs below, but in the middle there's nothing, then you see the page breaks. So I try to anchor and stop and start my threads in this page break to fill it up and therefore minimize the page breaks. It helps. It's not the solution. I still have small page breaks that, especially in this light, you can see. But they're definitely smaller than otherwise. And they're so small that I don't think you will see them when the project is done. And even if you do, especially with this project, I'm not sure I will ever finish it because it's so big, so I don't care. For me, it's about stitching and not about the finished piece. So I do not care if I have small page breaks and you can see it a little bit. But honestly, I really have to put it into the light so you can see it. So I'm fine with that. Okay. I think I talked more than 5 minutes just about page breaks. I hope I could explain it kind of well and you know what I mean. As I said, I do not really care about it that much, so I don't change my style of stitching. I stitch the way I want to and I have most fun with it, and not primarily the way it looks the best. So yeah, Small page breaks don't bother me at all. I try to minimize them by kind of filling them up with starting and stopping the threads in the page break. That helps a little bit. But yeah, that's basically it. If that answers your question, I'm very glad. If not, just comment again and I try to explain it a little bit better or in another way. Or if you have a follow-up question, just pop it below and I will answer. That goes for everyone else as well, of course. Whenever you have a question, want to know something, just pop it below and I will answer. I sometimes take my time, I know that, but I will definitely answer. Yeah, okay, that's it. The light's getting less, so we're stopping that now. I think I showed you everything. Oh, and if you have any idea what I should stitch on for the German flag, pop it below, please, because I'm not sure. I already thought about like doing 100 stitches on Cliffhanger, 100 stitches on Royal Games, and 100 stitches on the Twisted Fancy Flip. I just can't decide. Just vote below, please. Yeah, that's it. I hope you have a wonderful week. I'm sorry I'm a little bit later than normal today, but I hope that's fine. I try to be back at my normal time next week. I think I don't have to work. I'm not sure, actually. We'll see about that. Yeah, I think that's it. I wish you a wonderful week. Stay safe, stay healthy, and see you.